Hello and welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff and this is part 3 and the final part of building Lego set 10360, which is the Shuttle Carrier Aircraft. Here it is. Now this thing has a total of 2,417 pieces. And so far we've gotten bags 1 through 11 done. Let me switch cameras and show you what we've gotten done so far. And hello, Mrs. Chip, how you doing? And hello, Greg, how you doing? So this is what bags 1 through 11 will get you. We've got the space shuttle completely done. Since the last time we've been here, I took off the boosters and I stuck them in here like you're supposed to. Now, you're also supposed to take off the landing gear so that it fits on these things here. I didn't do that yet because, well, this thing has to sit on its own accord. So there we go. I'm going to set that aside. And we've started on the 747, so we just need to continue. Speaking of space and things, all things space related, I was watching a live stream right before this, and that live stream was of the Starlink. I think it's the Starlink. The Starship mission, and they had some problems with one of the boosters, but it did make it to space. And Greg, no one's joining me, and that's because the guy that I invited decided that he didn't decide. He said he was having health problems today and cannot join me. And I don't want to ruin who it is because he didn't say he would never join me. He just said he could not join me today. And I would like to have him on here, so I won't reveal his name or who he is, but he is someone that is a Lego enthusiast like I am, and like all of us are, right? All right. I guess I kind of should have known something was wrong because I messaged him really. He took a long time to get back to me. So anyway. All right, I want to give you guys an update on the move. So far, the move is not going the way that I really hoped it would. And that's for several reasons, and let me talk about those. So, problem number one is the housing market. The housing market is just not that great right now. In fact, I keep my eye on it, and I just keep hearing negative things. And I know some of that's fear-mongering from the media, don't get me wrong. But one of these things came from Realtor.com, and statistics, although you can make them lie, I don't believe they are in this case. So here's the deal. In over half the, I said most, and over half, a little more than half than the real estate markets, metro areas, the housing prices have dropped. And so now people are expecting them to drop further. They're looking for a deal. And me and Miss Chip have lowered the price of the house twice. And we've decided that we are no longer willing to lower the price any further. So with that in mind, we're going to leave the house on the market for the price that it's at. And if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. We're not in danger of losing the house. So it's not like we have to sell the home. We'd like to. But, well, if it don't work out, it don't work out. And interest rates are another thing that are affecting the house sale. Interest rates are just too dang high. In fact, interest rates are almost double what I'm paying for this house currently. And so that's a consideration too, because the whole reason that we want to sell the home is so that we could, first of all, live together. And second of all, we will be able to have a house paid in cash so we don't have a payment. So if we have to lower the price to sell the home, then we'd have a mortgage and it's going to be double the rate. Almost double the rate. So no, that wouldn't work out. So anyway, we just added this piece here, which is a really sleek piece to kind of fill in that gap there. Let's go ahead and keep moving here. And also the other thing that's working against sellers right now is that it truly is becoming a buyer's market where there is a lot more inventory, in other words, houses for sale right now than there have been over the last couple of years. Now, yeah, I am aware that the last couple of years was the record lows of houses on the market, but now that's come full circle and there's a lot of homes on the market. So with a lot of choice, buyers kind of expect a deal. And again, with the amount of effort that we've put in this home, we're not willing to let it go for any cheaper than what we have it listed at right now. So oh boy, what's the deal here? Okay, well, uh-oh. I put this piece on there and it got stuck. And now it won't line up. Let's see if we can fix that. Come on. Okay, first of all, let me make sure I built this right. Yes, it is looking like I built it right. So why is it giving me such a hard time? And Greg says, in air quotes, he's hoping to get this tomorrow. Did you already order it and you're waiting for it to come in, or you're going to order it tomorrow? There is something wrong with Amazon right now. I ordered books for my granddaughter, and they were supposed to come in today, but I checked the tracking and it says that it is delayed. More on that later. There's another alarming statistics when it comes to houses right now too. I read this on the internet that 25% of housing contracts are being backed out of. So people are basically putting an offer on a house, saying they'll buy it, and then 25% of them are not carrying it forward. That's an alarming number as well. They're blaming that on tariffs. I don't know what to believe, but they're saying that tariffs are a large part of that problem. But I kind of doubt it, because tariffs are kind of, a lot of countries have decided to deal with the U.S. or in talks. So I don't know. I can't really see that being a true factor. But that's what they're saying. So that's what I'll pass back to you guys. So here's the deal. If the house doesn't sell, it's okay. What me and Mrs. Chip have decided is that we like this place. It's a good place with good neighbors. We wouldn't mind retiring from here. And so if it doesn't work out, I'll just continue to work on the city a lot more. I'm going to do that anyway. And I'll still focus on the channel. And I came across some jobs on the internet that are very similar to what I was doing with the hospital. It has a different title. So there are a few things I need to learn, but it's dealing with insurance companies. And so I'm going to go ahead and deal with that, looking for jobs in that field that I was just talking about. So that's part of the backup plan. Plus, we'll slowly make some improvements to the house. One of the things I really want to do is get a 1,000-gallon propane tank out there. We only have a 500, and it doesn't last very long in the winter. And well, if I order propane right now, it's dirt cheap. But if I wait until like October, it shoots up, and anytime during the winter, it just stays up, and it's so expensive. So in other words, what it means is that we use electric heat instead, space heaters. Doesn't really do that great of a job. And well, you do pay for that too, but it's not as expensive as the propane. So that's one thing I'd like to do with the house to kind of improve things. Okay, so we slapped the other piece right in here, this filler. I imagine we're going to do this next since we did it that side. And yes, it is a remote job. Greg. It's basically an insurance analyst, is what they call it. And I was a. It's kind of weird they call us analysts because, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. It's an insurance claim analyst, and you don't write the claims, you do the reporting on it, and you let the company know whether they're making money or not, and all that good stuff, and where they can save money and stuff. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm dealing with there, and I'll be looking for jobs at some of the major insurance companies. And hello, Ken. He says, "Evening, Jeff. I'm sitting here watching my favorite YouTube mentor while on my 30-minute lunch break at work." Hey, Ken, how you been, man? It is always good to see you, man. If you guys would, hit the like button. And I do have something special to ask, and I'll probably say this a couple times during the live feed tonight. I did a video on the Ultimate Collector Series Jango Fett ship. And originally it was called Slave 1. And I put that as the title. And I'm pretty sure that YouTube is shadow banning that, because as the creator of the video, there's an analytics tab, and it tells you where and how many times YouTube is promoting your video. And that's the thing. They're not promoting that video. So if you guys would, there's a link in the description for that video. Please go watch it. And if you don't have time to watch the whole thing, just watch it for 30 seconds and hit the like button for me. Let's get around this YouTube shadow banning and tell them we don't care for it. I would really appreciate it. I've promoted it on some Facebook pages. I promoted it on Instagram. I promoted it to other places, and it's funny, 90% of the traffic for that video, according to the statistics, has come from my efforts, not theirs. It's usually the other way around. 90% of my views come from them promoting my stuff, but they're not promoting this one. And it's all because I used the original title, Slave 1, for that ship. So if you would, please let them know that we don't care about wokeness and that it's a fun video and it's a fun ship regardless of what they think of it. I would certainly appreciate it if you guys could do that for me. Like I said, a link for that video is in the description. And I'm just against shadow banning altogether, because I don't think YouTube should be telling us what we can and can't enjoy, what we should and shouldn't be enjoying either. So that's kind of just my thing about that. Okay, they're telling me to put the gear down, so I'm gonna put the gear down. Okay, there we go. And let's see, the nose is there, so I gotta flip it around. There we go. I'm going to leave it upside down because it looks like for the time being we're going to be doing stuff to this. Just to let you guys know, I promised you a video on the Avengers Tower. I am going to deliver. No problem at all. I will deliver. Been working on it, and I'm redoing the party scene floor, or the bar scene, whatever you want to call it. And I am working very hard at it, and I've got 2 of the 3 levels of the bar done. So I should have the video on Friday without issue, and we'll get that to you on Friday. And hopefully you guys will enjoy that update. I know I've gotten a few private messages from people and comment messages asking me to please do that video. So that is coming up next on Friday. How are the pets doing? Well, let's start with Enzo. Enzo's doing okay. He's developed a slight health issue, and I think it's because I changed dog food brands. So what I'm going to do is the next time I go to Costco, I'm going to go back to its original brand. I switched brands, and I admit, because I was trying to save money, but saving money is not always the best thing to do. But the dog food was like only half the price of the normal stuff I buy, but it's not worth it. So the next time I go, I will switch back to his normal brand and see what happens. And Max Bricks, Build Bricks says, hey, yo, I just got done building this yesterday. It was pretty swell. Hope you enjoy. I've enjoyed every minute of it so far. In fact, I do watch the Starlink and the other, what do you call it, space launches. So I'm really into space stuff. And as a kid, unfortunately, I saw the Challenger blow up because I was at school and they had it on live TV. And yeah, they just quietly turned off the TV, and we tried to have a normal day after that, but it wasn't so normal. But yes, I'm very much into the space program. And in fact, I've been to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio near Dayton. And oh, you said you did too. You was in the 3rd grade. I was in the 5th grade. So that means you are very close to me in age. And maybe I'm just a little slow, and maybe we're the same age. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. Let's see. Oh, I had it the right way to begin with. Okay. Yeah, I remember that launch because it was supposed to be the first teacher in space. Well, she didn't quite make it to space. And that was very sad. I'm not trying to make light of it. I try to make light of a lot of things, but not that. Carboas, collecting and racing. That's big. Yeah, this is pretty large. It's probably looks like about 2 feet. I haven't measured it yet, so don't quote me on that. But if I had a rough guess, it's 2 feet. And actually, there's no rough about it. Let me get the tape measure. Here we go. Oh, look at that. I said 2 foot, and it's almost 2 foot right on the nose. Well, from nose to tail, I should say. There we go. Did I see the M18 Mach yet? No, I have not. I have Technic Yellow, Bugatti. Okay, that sounds cool. The tail might just add a little length. All right. So, and I hope you guys appreciate my efforts in building, making those videos, especially after today. I went out to my shop, and I come in the door of the shop, and I hear something buzzing, and it's really big next to me, but I couldn't see what it was. So I just went past it and did my own thing and grabbed pieces and went back in the house. And then a few minutes later, I had to go back out there. And this time I saw it. It was a huge hornet. And the hornet was chasing me around the shop. So I hope you guys appreciate my efforts in building these videos and make it worth being chased by hornets. I did not get stung, by the way. I've never been stung by a hornet before. I've only been stung by bees and wasps, which I know I'm allergic to bees. But I don't think wasps have the same venom, so I think I'll be all right. I like the landing gear mechanism. Yeah, you know what? I do too. The Concorde one, for some reason, mine quits working, and then I have to mess with it. And I don't know if I just did it wrong or what, but this landing mechanism has worked without fail on this one. So I would agree with you. I like the landing mechanism on this a lot better than I do the Concorde. Concorde's not a bad one, though. I do own that one, too. In fact, I think I did live streams for that, too. So anyway, if you're in the mood to check that out, I'm sure it's somewhere in the archive there. So this is the first time I've seen this heart shape in this color, and I've seen it in red and I think dark pink. And I'm not sure if I've seen it in white, but this is the first time I'm seeing it in light bluish gray. So I will say that when it comes to building the city, I did some planning, and I don't want to ruin it because tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. my time, so that's Mountain Time. I am going to do a live stream building the city. I'm going to finish the wind turbines, and then we'll work on the waves a little bit. I can't work on it too much because I don't have enough pieces. I had to use up a bunch of pieces to get the design right. And I'm happy to say I got the design right. So I hope if you guys are available tomorrow morning, again, it's going to be at 11 o'clock Mountain Time that you'll join me. That's 11, that's 1 o'clock Eastern. I got Hot Wheels 10-pack, and it has the factory error, but it's so many cars. I wanted it for a long time. Should I open it? Oh, well, if I was talking to my brother-in-law, Keith, he would tell you no. My brother-in-law, Keith, he collects Hot Wheels, and he's got a bunch. In fact, you know how small those things are. They've got they had two kids. They have my sister and my brother-in-law Keith. They have two kids, but one has grown up and moved out, and so his old bedroom got converted into a Hot Wheels room. By the way, and you know how small those things are. So yeah, he's got a ton of Hot Wheels, and he does not open them. But I mean, heck, you know, if you want to open them, they're yours. I've got a couple of Star Wars figures that I will never open. All right, so I wanted. Greg says, "Imagine Lego making a NASA training compound." Well, that would be interesting. Does it come? Does it include the crazy astronaut who drove her car all those many miles wearing diapers? If it does, I'd buy it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a crazy story, true story of an astronaut who apparently had a thing for another astronaut who was married, and I think they both were married. And she drove several states away, and she wore a diaper so she didn't have to stop to go to the bathroom. Really kind of an older story, probably about 15, 20 years old now, but yeah. Yeah, I have almost 1,000 Hot Wheels, and they don't take up too much space. Yeah, they really don't, but I think they're cool. My brother-in-law, he likes real cars that they've done, and he also likes the prototypes that they do, the kind of off, weird-looking ones. And whenever I go to a store, I oftentimes, if I don't know like to a T what he has, but I have a general idea of what he has, and I'll send him pictures and say, "Hey, any of these cars tickle your fancy?" And if he says yes, I either pick it up for him, or I tell him which Walmart, Target, wherever it is I'm at, so that he can get it himself. But yeah, Keith's a good guy. He's been married to my sister. Actually, man, come to think of it, my sister has been married to Keith as long as I've been married to Mrs. Chip. And the reason I know that is because we got married the same year. They got married in September. We got married in December of the same year. And that must have been quite a year for my parents, because there's 5 of us kids, and only one of us was married at the beginning of 1996. And by the end of 1996, 3 of us had got married. So what that means is my parents went from only having 1 kid married to having all but 1 married. So Montesaurus would hurt. I've stepped on them as a kid, including the spinny thing. Also, my sister would smack me with Hot Wheel tracks. Wow. Well, I can't say I was the nicest to my younger sister. In fact, I wasn't very nice to her at all growing up. Well, now that's a very interesting way of getting that on there. My sister chewed on Hot Wheel tracks. Oh boy. Well, my sister used to eat crayons. No, I'm just kidding. No, she did not. And there I go being nice to my younger sister again. No, I'm just kidding. We actually get along just fine now. I think she's forgiven me for being an older brother growing up. My sister smacked me with wire hangers when I was little. Oh, dang, dude. That's like, that hurts. I have been hit with those. I mean, I sit here and talk about what a crappy older brother I was, but I'll be honest, I learned it from the best. I got 3 older sisters, and they didn't hold back. So if I was doing something they didn't like about it, it didn't take them very long to tell me, one way or the other. It's actually kind of funny because these days we're all older and we all have kids. And anyway, we reminisce sometimes about the stupid stuff we used to do. One time, my little sister, when she was a toddler, stacked a bunch of chairs and baskets to get to the fridge freezer so she could chew on reusable fruit-shaped ice cubes. She didn't fall, did she? Here I am laughing about it, and then I realized she probably fell. That doesn't sound too secure there. So, okay, my weekend. Mrs. Chip got the opportunity to spend time with Natalie. Natalie is the mother of Asia, and they were able to spend some time together. And okay, why is this not? Oh, because I'm being silly, that's why. Anyway, she got to fly in, and Mrs. Chip got to see her, and so did Asia get to see her mom. And I was able to talk to Asia a few times this weekend. It was really nice to be able to talk to her. She's my oldest granddaughter. She'll be 7 in about a month. It's hard to believe. And as a consolation prize, because I wasn't able to be there, I bought Asia 16 books. They are the Dr. Seuss collection, beginner's reader collection. Yeah, the wing attachment is really interesting. And in fact, when I looked at it, I thought about mentioning it. So since you've mentioned it, I'll mention it. So you've got these little bar pieces that connect to these clips here, and then you've got the these right here, Technic raw axles over here. So it's a really interesting sort of thing, but I like it because it has the correct angle on the wings because of that. So I think they did a really good job on all that. And we'll put another piece on here to kind of secure it down. She did not fall. Okay. All right. Miss Chip, we made tents out of sheets and chairs for a fort to play with our toys. Yeah, we used to do that too, and it used to really upset my mom too. Because of course we'd go in the closet and grab the clean sheets, and then oh boy, that used to really upset her. Okay, so if I turn this around, I cannot build unless I have the same direction as the instructions. And okay, so we got to build another one of those. But one time she stood on top of my toy stroller and knocked over our TV, so we had to watch YouTube on laptop for about a year. Oh boy. Yeah, you know, my parents kind of did something similar to us. We didn't have YouTube when I was growing up. In fact, I think the latest thing was the Atari and the Commodore 64. Um, but our TV broke when I was younger, and my parents just didn't have the money, so we did not get it replaced for about a year as well. And when we got the TV back, it was really weird. And I do have the air conditioner going, so I hope it's not too loud for you guys. We're just at that time of year where it's just too hot for me, and I would start sweating so bad if I didn't have it on. So I hope the noise isn't too bad. I was tempted to put Mentos in an ice cube tray to freeze for my family as a prank. Well, if you ever do that, which I would not at your age, but if you ever do it, I want to see a video. Because as they often say, if there's not a video, it didn't happen. I'm not trying to encourage that behavior, though. These are some interesting engines. The AC is not noisy. Okay, well, I can certainly hear it, so that's why I ask. Thanks for letting me know the feedback on that. Because the AC doesn't even do that great of a job, but it's still cooler than it is without it. And I don't know. But you know what? As a great pastime, maybe after this, I'll go hornet hunting out in the shop. No, I'm just kidding. I will not. I'm gonna leave those damn things alone. Madder than a hornet. There's a reason they say that. Those things are nasty little buggers. Oh, I put the wrong one. Let's put the right one. It actually reminds me of a joke. Do you know what Ray Charles said to his girlfriend when she lost her left leg? Well, the answer to that is, you still got the right one, baby. I literally finished the same set. And that's awesome, man. I think this is so far, I think this is a great set. And we are almost done with the second bag of the night. We only got 5. We're only going to do 5 tonight. So let's get these engines on here. All right, so we got the other wing to build. So let's slide that over. It's neat seeing someone else build it now. Well, thanks, man. Let's see here. What else we got here? Oh, yes, over the weekend, Spencer and I went to, we went grocery shopping, and we also went to my sister's house. And we were only planning on staying for a minute because we were on our way home. And, well, that never works out. It always ends up being longer than a minute. And this is my oldest sister. And we end up helping her, and mostly Spencer. I actually laid on the couch and didn't mean to fall asleep, but it was too tempting. I fell asleep. So there was that. And then Hold on a second, guys. I'm gonna mute my mic just for a second. Okay, I just had to let Spencer know that I cooked dinner right before I started the live stream, and it should be still warm for him. So anyway, yeah, I was at my sister's, and we just we helped her out. And um, while we were there, my sister likes to hatch chickens. She's got an incubator, and she went ahead and she's hatched two different groups, one right after the other. So the other ones are about 6 weeks old. These ones are about 2 weeks old. And I asked her, I said, what are you going to do with these 8 chicks? And she says, I don't know. And I said, well, I'll gladly take them off your hands. So I end up with 6 baby chicks. And I think that's totally awesome because I think it was 16. But I got rid of them right before Christmas time because they quit producing, which is a pretty common problem when these things get older. So now we've got 8 baby chicks. And Greg says Jenny would love Mentos ice cubes. Well, she likes Dr. Pepper and pineapple juice, I've heard. And yeah, she's going to kill me for that comment because she really doesn't. And also, I told you guys last week that I went to the funeral of my neighbor's dad. And he's a really good guy. And I was talking to him a couple days after the funeral. And I just mentioned to him that, hey, I got 2 dead trees in my front yard. And I've had them. They were dead when I first moved in. I just didn't feel like digging them out. And so I asked my neighbor if he would be so kind as to bring his tractor over and just push them over. And he was really nice. He came over yesterday, and that's exactly what he did. He just took the tractor and kind of ran them over with the loader thing in the front, and it knocked the trees over. And then Spencer and I picked them up, put them on the side of the house. We're going to cut them up for firewood. Going to ask my dad if I can borrow his chainsaw. All part of country living out here. And by the way, if you guys don't know, I am a city boy trying to fake it as a country boy. This is the first time I've ever lived out in the country, and I've lived here for 3 years, and I absolutely love it. Dr. Pepper and pineapple juice stories. Getting old, man. That was terrible. Yeah, I know you didn't like it. Sure was fun, though. At least for me. So, and if you guys don't know the story, Mrs. Chip had a Dr. Pepper out, one of those bottles, I think it's 20 ounces. And while she wasn't looking, I had pineapple juice in a can because I was making some sort of drink. And while she wasn't looking, I poured some pineapple juice in her bottle. And she tasted it, and she wasn't too happy with me about that. So it's become a running joke. And we have a place called Fizz out here. That's all they sell is different flavored sodas. And I always tell her that I'm going to get her a Dr. Pepper pineapple one. So, and Greg, your question, what do we have for dinner? We had hamburger helpers, cheesy Italian, God, I can't remember the last word. I don't know if I remember if it was noodles or what. But anyway, shells or whatever it is, it was really good. Not exactly gourmet cooking, but that's all right. So Yeah, the neighbor came out. He removed the two trees, and immediately after he was done with that, um, Spencer and I grabbed the wheelbarrow. I've got extra dirt on the property, and we ended up moving that dirt and filling the holes where the trees used to be. And then from there, we put grass seed down, and I've watered that grass seed twice since he's put it in, taking the stumps out. So I'm trying to replace that grass as soon as I can. Okay, I'm not seeing. Oh, there it is. All right, should yeah. Just trying to do whatever I can. We've got swig. Yeah, we have swig here too. Yes. Yeah, fizz, swig. Yeah, both of those. It sounds like you've been to swig, Greg. A&W cream soda. We do have an A&W not that far from us, and I love A&W. They've got some good hamburgers. Even, I mean, I've never been really a fan of McDonald's to begin with, but I think their hamburgers are way better than McDonald's. Just my personal opinion. All right. I love how they use this quarter tile like that. No, I just know of it. Okay. You can't get that at A&W restaurant. Well, okay. You can't get their cream soda. All right. You're right. It comes in a can. But you can get their floats there, though. At least the one here you can. All right. So let's shift gears here. I want to do something that I started the last live stream, and that is we went over some of the different crazy laws in the state of Idaho where I live. But then I realized something. I've lived in a lot of different states thanks to my dad being in the military and Miss Chip being in the military. So I looked up some strange, weird laws in the states that I've lived in just because I wanted to know if I've been breaking the law anywhere I've ever lived. It's a specialty pop. Yeah, it used to be on every shelf in Canada, and I haven't seen it in 15 years, but I did order. Oh yeah, my my parents they have it. Cream soda. In fact, every seems like almost every family dinner there's A&W cream soda there. And I think that's my parents doing. All right. So let's go to crazy laws in Utah, since that's the place that I lived last before here. So let's start with that. All right. According to Utah Code 23-18-4, citizens in Utah can request authorization from the Wildlife Board to kill or trap a beaver if said beaver is doing damage to or are a menace to private property. Now, that might come in handy if you have a beaver infestation, but I've never heard of that. Kind of a weird one. Of course, all these are weird. That's where they come from. But all right, let's throw this bad boy on there. Oh. All right. Also, Don't promote milk discrimination. What does that mean? That means that anyone in the business of buying milk products cannot discriminate between sections, communities, localities, cities, or towns of the state of Utah. That's a no-no in Utah, which can make you guilty of a Class D misdemeanor. I think I'll risk that one. Doesn't make much sense anyway. Okay, I kind of have it over here because the wingspan, let me kind of move it a little over here. You wish you had 5 guys in your town? Yeah, we don't have one either. The closest one, I think, is in Layton, which is about an hour and 10 minutes south of here. Okay, let's see. I'm not really good building upside down, so let's have this go the same way. I was trying to think how far that A&W is from me, and I think it's exit 392, which, if that's the case, it's 21 miles from me, approximately. What's my favorite swig? I don't really have one, Greg. Soda's not. I mean, I do drink it, but I don't have any in the house. Well, okay, or any orange soda. Like, I love Sunkist. I love Crush. Love Crush, actually, Orange Crush. So when I go to Swig or Fizz, I don't really go to Swig. I usually get their orange soda, and it's just generic name, but it's actually pretty good. Okay. All right, another crazy law in Utah where I've lived. If you're riding a bicycle or a moped, there's no joyriding allowed with your hands willy-nilly. According to Utah Code 41-6A-1012, you need both hands free to steer and at least one hand on the handlebars at all times. So no matter how proud you might be of Billy when he says, "Look, Mom, no hands," well, you got to keep those things together. So don't encourage people to break the law. Oh, no, I did that right. No, I did not. Now I did it right. I love how they use the barrels in this light gray color. This was also on Echo 1 for the large Ghostbusters car. I've got that one and I built it. Never too old for Lego. How you doing? And I guess I didn't realize that was you talking. I should have. Never too old's a frequent flyer around here, and I always appreciate him. Okay, so I did that wrong, so let me pop that out. So also, another weird law in Utah is whatever you do, do not cause a catastrophe. Causing a catastrophe, and that's in quotation marks, in Utah can be a first-degree felony according to Utah code. But before an accident and disaster-prone people start panicking, a catastrophe is defined as widespread injury or damage to persons or personal property by the use of a weapon of mass destruction or explosion, fire, flood, avalanche, collapse of a building, or other harmful destructive forces or substance. So unless you accidentally topple a building, I think you're safe. Okay, so we're going to put the engines on here. Let me make sure I built the engines right on the other side. I did. Okay, so we've got the engines. It looks like about the only thing left is the tail section, which there's a lot of pieces over here there. So this tail must be freaking huge. And we do have some black pieces. That must be the stand. Okay, so they want us to put the gear down now. So, okay. So let's do that. Okay. Yeah, this tail section is huge. There's probably close to about 250 pieces in this bag. My favorite part of the build was the landing gear. Greg, it was difficult, but absolutely love it. I love this piece right here, the 3x3 little plate. That has come in handy in so many different builds that I've done, especially in the Avengers Tower custom that I'm doing. That is, yeah. Hey, John, how's it going? And it's good to see you, John. Did you watch the launch today? I did. John is a good friend of mine, and we both share the love of space-related things. And I watched the launch, and I got to see with the part where the booster, they lost the booster, which was not planned. But that's where I left off because this started. I do have some more weird laws coming right up. Like I said, we're just going to go through the states that I've lived in, start off. And we're not going to get through that list tonight, I can tell you that. I've lived in a lot of different states. And there might even come a time where... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Why is this wrong? Because I think I did this wrong. That's the long and short of it, right? Let's see. Okay, I'm not sure what I did here. So let's peel back a layer here. Okay, that's right. Okay, now that looks like what it should. Okay. They were never, yeah, I knew they weren't going for the catch, and thanks for bringing that up, John. But I think they said the booster, they lost it. They were going to recover it in the water, but they were not going to recover it and catch it. But they can't. I can't. Yeah. Good little segment, though. I like watching those launches. And USA, I have the set, just had to do the wings and tail. Yeah, it's not. I don't think this is an extremely difficult build. Even the Technic part with the landing gear, I didn't feel was that difficult. I felt like they did a pretty good job of breaking that up into enough steps that it wasn't that hard. And it's, as Greg said, it's probably, I think it was Greg that said that, or maybe I said it, I don't know, but it's the coolest part. And as for upcoming videos, I've got plenty of content to create. I've got the Bricklink Designer, I think it's Series 4. I have all the sets. We've only built one, so I've got all the other 4 to do. I got the Ninjago, the big one, out. I've got the Beauty and the Beast castle. I can't see everything else; it's blocked, but I've got quite a bit. And plus, there's the city I can work on. There's Avengers Tower I can work on. There's just so much that can be done. And I do plan on building as much as I can and inviting you guys along for the ride. And if you're willing and able, that's great. There is a small price of admission, though, for the ride, and that is hitting the like button. And if you feel like you earned your subscription, hit that too. And if you're watching this over on Rumble, give it a rumble. I would appreciate that. This is going to be a huge tail section. All right, so what else do we got here? Next time you go fishing, leave the explosives and the crossbow at home. One can only wonder what happened to make this a law. Okay, how does this work? Well, all right. According to the Utah Fishing 2019 guidebook, you cannot use any chemical, explosive, electricity, poison, firearm, pellet gun, or archery equipment to take fishing or crawfishing. There are exceptions, however. When killing a common carp, crossbows and spears are fair game. Does make me wonder again why these laws were necessary, who was doing what, and or what politician had too much time on their hands to think of such a thing. I don't know. I don't have that answer. John, how has your day been, by the way? Okay, we've got another Utah law that, well, I don't want to say goes down in the books, but it does because it's that silly. And this one here involves keeping your hat low. In 1898, so okay, quite a few years ago, it was considered a misdemeanor for people to wear a top hat that was too high inside of a theater. Then again, in 1898, it was also a crime in Utah to sell impure vinegar, duel, procure females to play musical instruments at saloons, and to participate in barbarous and noisy amusements on a Sunday. Well, I'm glad they had that part cornered right there because that's important. I'm being totally sarcastic. I don't care. Okay, this next one makes you wonder how in the hell did this ever need to become a law, but I'm sure there's some tragic event that I've never looked up to figure this one out. Okay, in Provo, which I used to live in Provo back in 92, 93. According to the Provo Municipal Code, every person who shall willfully or carelessly within the city limits of this city throw a stone, stick, snowball, or other missile that might hit another person, damage property, or frighten and annoy any traveler is guilty of a misdemeanor. And in case you have any other crazy ideas, the same section states that it's against the law to put torpedoes, yes, torpedoes, or explosives on any railroad tracks or anything that a car of any kind might pass over. Again, makes you wonder why that was ever even necessary, but apparently torpedoes must have been very plentiful at one time, and sticking them on a railroad track just to see what a train does must have been a favorite pastime of some people, and they had to come up with that one, but whatever. I have no idea. Okay, so we have the tail section. Let's go ahead and stick that on here. And this is one huge tail. All right, and I'm sure we got the other part of the tail here. And John says his day was busy. What did you do today, John? I did a little bit of everything. No, I'm just kidding. And again, I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but I want to mention it again. Please watch my video on Slave One. The link's in the description. I've checked my analytics that is allowed to me as a creator for my channel, and YouTube is not pushing that video out. And the reason they're not, and I'm pretty sure this is the reason, is that I put in the title the original, I should say, title of that ship, which was Slave One. It'll always be Slave One to me, so I put that in the title, and YouTube is not pushing it out to anybody. So I'd appreciate if you support the channel, watch that video. Like again, the link's in the description. Hit the like button, even if you don't like it, just to show YouTube the middle finger. I'd appreciate that. Yes, we're almost done with the 747. Just like when we were kids, we used to say you had 747 skid marks in your underwear. John says, working, preparing for that new account, baseball tonight, and spoke with the breeder. What is the news on the breeder? Or is there news with the breeder? I know you, in a previous live stream, you said that your litter that you were picking from had been born. And so in 8 weeks, you very well could have a pup. Okay, so we need stickers. We need sticker number 4. It's almost sticker time, and I do not like stickers. Anybody who's seen my channel knows that I hate stickers. But that's okay. We got this one done. It was painless. I say that now, but it was painful. It's kind of like when you go to the doctor and they say this isn't going to hurt. Yeah, it is. All right, so I got a joke for you. And it is political, but it's not, doesn't take sides. So I hope you'll enjoy this joke. Okay. So there's this guy, and he passes away. And when he passes away, he goes to heaven. And before, he's allowed in, God says, look, you need to take a whole entire day and visit hell and heaven, and you need to decide which one you want to be in for the rest of your rest of your existence. So, the guy says, okay, well, I'm gonna pick hell first. So he gets put down to hell, and he is expecting just lava rivers, people being beaten, being desolate, and he's just expecting the worst. So he gets down there though, and it's not this lush green river or a blue river with a bunch of greenery around it. There's a nice big hotel, and he goes to the hotel, and Satan greets him at the door and says, "Welcome to hell." And he goes, I'm really surprised. I thought, hell was going to be a lot different. And he goes, "Oh, not here. You can eat whenever you want. You can gamble with endless money. Go to any room and just tell them what girl you want in a special sort of way, if you know what I mean. And you can have it. You can have whatever you want." So the guy spends the day in hell, and he does have his way with several different women in several different ways, and gambles, and he eats all he wants, and he's just having a great time. The next day he goes to check out heaven, and he just tells God, he says, "Nope." He says, I don't even want to check out heaven. He says, I'm sure I want to go to hell. And he says, "You sure? Because you're supposed to check out both." And he says, No. I've had my chance. I've looked at it. Hell's where I want to be. So he says, "Okay, have your wish. You can go to hell." And the guy goes to hell, and this time when he gets there, it is desolate. People are being tortured. It's just awful. And he's just thinking to himself, what? So he goes and he searches around for a while, and eventually he finds Satan. And when he finds Satan, he says, "Hey, I don't understand. I was just here yesterday, and this place was just green, and it was so much fun. What happened?" And he says, "Well, let me put it this way. Yesterday, I was campaigning. You've made your choice. So this is the reality now." So just a little burn on politicians there. Power Rangers sticker time. Okay. Well, I took off the landing gear, and we're going to put okay, so we've got, oh wow, this thing does not want to, the nose does not want to stay down. All right, but we do have the stand to build, so let's build the stand. This stand looks like it's just a little over 100 pieces. It's not that big. And then after that, this set is complete. And we will be done for the night. Again, tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock my time, that's Mountain Time, or 1 o'clock Eastern, we will have a live stream on building the city. And we're going to finish the wind turbine, and we're going to work on the waves a little bit. Not too much because I don't have many pieces. I had to order them. But if we have time, there are several things we can do, like put wildlife on the beach. We can work on the beach a little bit with people and that kind of thing. So there is plenty that can be done. Is this your set of the year so far? So far, yes. However, I have a feeling that Death Star is coming out. That's supposed to be $1,000. I have an idea that's probably going to be my favorite. I have seen a few, or not even seen leaked. I haven't seen leaked images. I have seen leaked things like saying it's supposed to be 38 or 40 minifigures or something like that. So we'll see how that pans out. What is your set of the year so far, Greg? Since you mentioned that. Okay. Don't get too close on the dance floor in Monroe, Utah. Okay, another strange law. I want to get through a couple more of these for the night's over. In January 2000, Utah's representative took a break from lawmaking to reflect on some strange laws still on the books across the nation. Among them was a law from Monroe, Utah, which stated a daylight must be visible between parties on the dance floor. I guess you're out of luck if you wanted to go dancing at night. Actually, I used to go to dances as a young man, and they used to try to put a Bible between you and the girl you were dancing with, and if you couldn't, you were asked to separate yourselves. Such vulgar behavior. Well, hey, at least it's not Idaho, like we learned that there used to be an Idaho law that said that you had to get permission from the girl's father before you could date her. At least that law. No, it's not that law. Yeah, you remember them putting the Bible in between you and your dance partner? It's just silly stuff. All right. Uh-oh. Got about 20 pieces left, so we're cooking along here. And actually, I'm really glad we did this tonight. It looks a lot. It went a lot faster than I thought, first of all. And second of all, it really just, to me, looks really good. And I love the detail. I love the double-decker part in the front, just like a real one. And love the landing gear, how many there are just like the real one. And I don't remember the tail being that big, but I don't remember looking at the tail too closely either in real life, so it very well could be very accurate. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is, just because the amount of care that Lego's done in a lot of different sets. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say it's probably correct. All right. Well, I'm going to mention it one last time. Please go to my video that's linked in the description, Slave 1, Jango Fett's ship. YouTube is not promoting it because I put down that it was Slave 1, just like it is and has been for 40-something years. I did not change it, and I put the original name, and YouTube is not promoting my video. So if you would, please use the link to watch the video. And on top of that, hit the like button. If you can't watch the whole video, please at least watch the first like 30, 60 seconds. And I would really appreciate it. And hello, is it Rosian? I can't say that. I'm sorry. I butchered your name, and I don't like butchering names. Mainly because my name in real life has been butchered a million times because my name is Jeff, spelled with a G. I've heard Geoff, Godfrey. I've heard it all. But you say that you had fun building this one. And yes, I would agree. Reynos or RJ. I'll just say RJ. How's that? Is that? Oh, shoot. Okay, well, I can't quite get this right. All right, so this is supposed to go on the stand. Okay, so it has the gear up when you do this. Okay, well, we'll put the gear up, no problem. And let's see. Okay, simple enough. There we go. This set's complete, everybody. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications, leave me a comment below. Remember, tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern, I will be doing another live stream of the city, and we'll be working on the wind turbines, the waves, and maybe some wildlife and minifigures around the beach. And RJ says, I built this model and figuring out how to hang from the ceiling next to Saturn V. Discovery. Oh, those are awesome. And I do have all those. Those are awesome. I want to display it. Launching the Enterprise. Oh, okay. That sounds cool. All right, guys. Be good to each other. Stay safe out there. And I'll catch you on the next one.